Ladies and gentlemen, if life is worth living, then it's worth living well, and if it's worth living well, then it's worth working on, every day, not someday, not just when we feel inspired, every day. Why? Because success doesn't come in one big moment, it's crafted in the quiet habits of daily discipline. Let me give you 10 things you must work on every day, and if you'll take these to heart, they'll shape your character, your fortune, and your legacy. Work on your philosophy, upgrade your thinking. Everything starts in the mind. Your philosophy is simply what you know, what you believe, and how you decide to interpret what happens around you. It's the set of ideas that guides your decisions, your actions, and ultimately, your results. You can give two people the same opportunity, the same tools, the same 24 hours, and get two completely different outcomes. Why? Because they're operating on two different philosophies. One might believe that hard work compounds and creates opportunity. The other might believe that success is reserved for the lucky, and each one will live out the logic of their beliefs. This is why upgrading your thinking is not a luxury, it's a daily responsibility. If your philosophy is outdated, borrowed, broken, or incomplete, then no matter how hard you work, it'll be like rowing a boat with one oar. You go in circles. But if your philosophy is clear, grounded, and wise, it becomes the engine that powers your potential. Start with what you've accepted as just the way things are. Many of us carry ideas from childhood, from culture, from failure, and we treat them as permanent truth. We say things like, I'm just not good with money, or people like me don't get ahead, or I could never do that. But where did that come from? Who said that? And more importantly, what would happen if you stopped believing it? You see, part of upgrading your thinking is challenging the limits you didn't realize you accepted. You hate to become a student of better ideas. Read books, listen to thinkers, learn from winners, let the right voices into your mind, because wrong voices can wreck your vision. If you sit with pessimists, you'll catch the disease of doubt. If you spend time with sharp minds, your own mind will sharpen. Exposure matters. The mind is like soil. It will grow whatever seeds are planted. Plant weeds and you get weeds. Plant wisdom and you get fruit. Every day, ask yourself better questions. Not why is this happening to me, but what can I learn from this? Not what do I deserve, but what am I becoming? Your philosophy is shaped not just by what you know, but by how you frame your experiences. Someone who's always blaming circumstances will stay stuck, but someone who sees every problem as training will grow into strength. Another part of your daily mental work is staying curious. Once you think you know it all, learning stops. And when learning stops, growing stops. Make it a habit to question your assumptions. What worked last year may not work now. What you believed 5 years ago may need refining. Don't confuse consistency with wisdom. A broken clock is consistent, it's just not right. Be careful with borrowed philosophies. Just because a belief is popular doesn't make it true. Just because your friend, your teacher, or even your parents believe something doesn't mean you have to carry it forever. You can respect where you came from without dragging outdated thinking into your future. You are allowed to upgrade. You're allowed to evolve. Philosophy isn't just about big ideas. It shows up in small choices. It's in how you treat your time, how you spend your money, how you talk to people, how you talk to yourself. If your philosophy says, I'll do it later, your habits will follow. If it says, I'm not good enough, your confidence will shrink. But if your thinking says, every day is a gift, your actions start to look like gratitude. If your belief is, I can improve with effort, then mistakes won't stop you, they'll teach you. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is to make reflection a daily practice. Look at what you did today and ask yourself why. Trace it back. You'll find that every decision came from a belief, spoken or unspoken, and if the belief isn't helping you, don't keep carrying it like baggage. Replace it with something stronger. You don't need 100 new ideas. Sometimes one good idea, planted deep and watered daily, can change everything. This isn't about thinking positive all the time. It's about thinking clearly, thinking deeply, seeing reality, but refusing to be limited by it. It's about being intentional with your mind instead of letting the world program it for you. Protect and shape your attitude daily. Your attitude is the emotional filter through which you experience life. It's the weather of your inner world. And just like you don't get to control the wind outside, but you can control your coat, your umbrella, and your reaction, the same goes for attitude. Life throws storms, but how you stand in the storm is up to you. And that's where your attitude becomes your greatest asset or your heaviest burden. Every day, the world gives you reasons to shrink. Bad news, people complaining, traffic jams, missed calls, unexpected bills, setbacks at work. And every day, you have a choice, react or respond. One is automatic, the other is intentional. You can't wake up once and say, "Today, I'll have a good attitude," and expect it to last. It doesn't stick. It's like a shower. You don't do it once and stay clean. You've got to wash the dust off your mind daily. What's dangerous is how silently a bad attitude builds. It doesn't usually show up with a bang. It creeps in through disappointment, through comparison, through bitterness, through frustration. It starts with a sigh, a roll of the eyes, a quiet complaint. And before you know it, you've trained your mind to expect the worst, to focus on what's wrong, and to forget what's still right. You must guard your attitude like it's gold. You don't leave your house unlocked, letting anyone walk in and take what they want. Don't leave your spirit unguarded, letting in every discouraging thought or toxic comment. Just because someone else is negative doesn't mean you have to match their energy. You don't have to accept every emotional package delivered to your doorstep. You can say, "No thanks, I'm not taking that today." There's a discipline to gratitude. And there's power in noticing the good, even when it's small. The person with a strong attitude doesn't ignore problems. They just refuse to be defined by them. They see setbacks and say, "All right, what now?" They lose a deal and say, "What's the lesson here?" They feel pain, but they don't let the pain become their personality. They know that every day is a new stage, and they choose not to bring yesterday's bitterness into today's performance. You shape your attitude by what you feed your mind. What you read, what you listen to, who you spend time with, all of it matters. Garbage in, garbage out. Inspiration in, courage out. Doubt in, hesitation out. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing a lens that gives you strength instead of stealing it. You can look through a lens of fear or a lens of faith, through a lens of lack or a lens of possibility. The choice is yours, but the consequences are automatic. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply pause, breathe, reset, before you respond to a text, before you answer that email, before you walk into the meeting, just a second to check your state. Is this frustration talking? Is this pride? Is this fear? Or am I speaking from a place of clarity and calm? That pause can change the whole outcome. It's not weakness, it's maturity. Attitude is contagious. The question is yours worth catching? People feel you before they hear you. You walk into a room, and your energy says something before your words do. Are you lifting the room or draining it? Are you creating possibility or spreading problems? People remember how you made them feel, and the right attitude, steady, grounded, hopeful, can become a magnet for trust, for leadership, for influence. Every morning, you have to set the tone. You don't wait to feel good. You decide to show up with intention. That doesn't mean fake a smile. It means orient your thoughts toward what you can do instead of what you can't. Start the day with something nourishing, a quiet moment, a strong affirmation, a reminder of what matters. If you let the noise set the tone, you'll be reacting all day. But if you set the tone yourself, you'll respond with power instead of panic. You shape your world by how you carry yourself through it. And the attitude you bring determines the atmosphere you live in, not just at work, not just when you're being watched, but when no one's looking, when it's just you and the mirror, because the most important conversations you have are the ones you have with yourself. And if those are bitter, the world becomes bitter. But if those are strong, hopeful, honest, then the world, no matter how loud it gets, starts to sound different. Master your time. Guard it like treasure. Time is the currency of life, and once it's spent, it's gone. You can make more money, build more relationships, gain more knowledge, but you can never get a single minute back. That's why time must be treated with the highest level of respect. Every day, you are trading your time for something. The question is, what are you getting in return? Is it growth? Is it progress? Is it joy? Or are you trading it for distraction, delay, and regret? Most people don't lose their time all at once. They lose it in small leaks, 10 minutes here, a scroll there, a conversation that should have ended 10 minutes ago, a task that should have taken 1 hour, but dragged into 3 because of multitasking. It's not the big, obvious waste that steals the day. It's the quiet drift, the unplanned moment, the lack of structure. And when you add it up, that drift turns into lost weeks, months, and years. To master your time, you must begin by becoming conscious of it. Where does your time go? What gets your best hours? Who gets your attention first thing in the morning? How many minutes are truly productive versus busy? Track it, study it, don't guess, don't assume. You can't improve what you don't measure. Awareness is the starting line of mastery. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is to plan your day before the world gets a chance to. If you don't set the agenda, someone else will. Emails, notifications, requests. They all come rushing in, ready to hijack your focus. But if you take 10 quiet minutes to decide what really matters that day, you take back control. You create the day instead of reacting to it. Start with your top priorities. What are the 2-3 things that, if done, would move your life forward? Focus there. Protect those blocks of time like your future depends on them. Because it does. You must learn the art of saying no. Every yes is a no to something else. When you say yes to every meeting, every request, every favor, you're saying no to your goals, your health, your peace. And while it feels good to be helpful, constant availability is a recipe for burnout. Boundaries are not rude, they are necessary. Time management isn't about doing more things. It's about doing fewer things better. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everything is urgent. Not everything aligns with your values. Filter your commitments through clarity, not guilt. Discipline with time is not about rigidity. It's about rhythm. It's about building your day like a structure that holds your ambition. Wake up with purpose. Don't start your morning in reaction mode. Checking your phone first thing pulls you into someone else's priorities. Instead, start with something intentional. A moment of silence, a written goal, a deep breath. That early momentum sets the tone for everything that follows. Avoid multitasking. It's a myth. The mind can't do two deep things at once. It can only switch rapidly between them, and every switch costs time and quality. Single tasking is a superpower in a distracted world. When you focus on one thing deeply, you enter a flow state where time bends, distractions fade, and output multiplies. Give your full attention to what's in front of you, then move on with clarity. Don't be busy, be effective. Protect your energy as much as your hours. Some tasks drain you more than they should. Some people take more than they give. Learn to spot these energy leaks. A 2-hour meeting that should have been an email. A conversation that loops with no solution. A habit that costs mental clarity. Time management is also about attention management. Because your focus is where your real time lives. Be willing to pause and reflect. At the end of each day, take a few moments to ask, what did I accomplish? What did I avoid? What stole my focus? What gave me momentum? That reflection sharpens your awareness and helps you adjust. It's not just about running faster, it's about making sure you're headed in the right direction. Even 1 degree of course correction, done daily, changes the destination entirely. Time is not just for work. Mastering time also means making space for rest, for family, for silence, for joy. A well-lived day includes margin. It includes breaks. It includes beauty. Productivity without peace leads to burnout. So schedule renewal as seriously as you schedule tasks. Rest is not a reward. It's part of the strategy. The goal isn't to be busy. It's to be intentional, to live on purpose, not by accident, to look at how you spent your hours and know they were invested, not just used. Nurture your health. It's the foundation of everything. Your body is your vehicle, your energy source, and your primary tool for experiencing life. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are, how sharp your mind is, or how ambitious your goals may be. If your health is compromised, every other part of your life begins to feel it. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give your best if you're running on fumes. That's why taking care of your body and mind isn't optional. It's not a luxury. It's the base of the pyramid. Health isn't just about avoiding sickness. It's about creating strength. It's about waking up with energy, moving through the day with clarity, sleeping deeply, and living fully present. When you're healthy, you have more to give, more focus for your work, more patience for your family, more stamina for your dreams, and when you neglect it, everything starts to feel heavier, slower, more frustrating. Even the small tasks become a burden. Daily investment in your health pays the greatest dividends. It doesn't have to be a dramatic overhaul. It's the little things done consistently that create the shift. A short walk in the morning, a few extra glasses of water, choosing whole foods over processed ones, getting to bed an hour earlier, moving your body instead of sitting for hours. These small decisions build up over time, creating a rhythm of vitality instead of a cycle of exhaustion. Your physical health and mental health are connected. If your body is under constant stress from poor sleep, bad nutrition, and no movement, your mind will suffer too. You'll think slower, feel foggier, react quicker. But when you take care of your body, your mind sharpens. Thoughts become clearer, moods become more stable, creativity returns. Energy isn't just physical, it's emotional and mental too. It's easy to say, I don't have time, but the truth is, you don't have time not to. A few minutes each day to take care of yourself can save you years of pain, medication, and regret. Health problems don't show up overnight. They build in the background while we're busy ignoring them. But so does strength, so does vitality, so does resilience. What you do today shows up later, and the later version of you will thank you, or wish you had done things differently. Food is fuel, not entertainment. It can be enjoyed, of course, but it must be respected. The choices you make at the table affect how you think, how you sleep, how you perform. You wouldn't put dirty gas into a luxury car and expect it to run smoothly. So why treat your body with less care? Real food. Simple, nourishing, unprocessed isn't a trend. It's a return to what works, what your body was built for. Movement is not punishment. It's a gift. The ability to walk, to stretch, to lift, to dance, to train. It's something to celebrate, not avoid. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. You need consistency. Your body was made to move, and when you move it, it rewards you with energy, strength, and endurance. When you ignore it, it starts to rust, like an engine left idle too long. Sleep is not weakness, it's recovery, it's repair. It's how your body files the day away and prepares for the next. Yet so many treat sleep like an afterthought, something they squeeze in if there's time left over. But your mind can't function without deep rest. Your body can't heal. Your emotions can't settle. Make sleep a priority, not a casualty of your hustle. Stress is silent, but deadly. It builds beneath the surface, draining your immune system, clouding your thoughts, tightening your muscles, and shortening your fuse. You need daily practices that allow you to release it. That might be deep breathing, quiet time, journaling, prayer, nature walks. Whatever helps you come back to center. Don't wait for breakdown before you take a breath. Make peace part of your daily practice. Health isn't about looking a certain way. It's about feeling a certain way. Strong, stable, capable, energized. It's not about perfection. It's about responsibility. You only get one body, one mind, and if you take care of them, they will carry you far. If you don't, everything else you're building sits on shaky ground. You can't build an empire on a weak foundation. Take care of the foundation, and everything above it becomes stronger, clearer, and more sustainable. Strengthen your character. Honor over convenience. Character is who you are when no one's watching. It's the silent force behind your decisions, your behavior, and your reputation. Skills may get you noticed. Charm might open a few doors, but it's character that determines whether those doors stay open. In a world where shortcuts are celebrated and appearances are often valued over integrity, your character is your anchor. It holds you steady when the winds of pressure, temptation, and opportunity try to pull you off course. Every day, you're faced with small choices that either reinforce your character or erode it. Do you tell the truth even when it costs you? Do you follow through even when it's inconvenient? Do you do the right thing, especially when no one will ever know? These are the questions that shape the architecture of your character. And the answers aren't found in grand declarations. They're found in the quiet corners of your day, in the small moments that often go unnoticed. Character is built through repetition. Just like a muscle, it grows when it's exercised under resistance. When you choose honesty over ease, patience over impulse, discipline over comfort, you're strengthening something deep inside you. And just like a muscle, if it's neglected, it weakens. If you give in to excuses, justifications, and easy outs, you start to drift. You become reactive instead of intentional, fragile instead of grounded. Honor is doing what's right, not what's easy, and in many situations, those two paths will conflict. It's easier to cut corners, to exaggerate, to hide mistakes. But every time you do, you teach yourself that convenience matters more than truth. You tell your subconscious that you can't be trusted to handle difficulty without compromise, and over time, your self-respect starts to fade. Because deep down, we all know when we've betrayed our own standards. Your word matters. When you say something, let it mean something. Don't promise out of pressure or agree to things just to avoid discomfort. Speak with intention and follow through with consistency. People learn who you are not just by what you say, but by what you repeat, by what you deliver, by what you stand for under pressure. And when your words and actions line up, trust is formed. Not just the trust of others, but the trust you have in yourself. Discipline is a core part of character. It's the ability to act according to your values instead of your moods. Anyone can be kind when they feel generous, responsible when it's convenient, or focused when they're inspired. But the person who shows up with consistency, despite the circumstances, has something deeper guiding them. That's discipline. That's character in motion. That's maturity showing up in real time. Temptation doesn't always come in the form of obvious wrongs. Often, it looks like opportunity with a catch. Success at the expense of your peace. Gain at the cost of your principles. But anything you gain through compromise eventually costs more than it gives. If you lose yourself on the way to the top, was it worth it? The people who build something that lasts are the ones who do it with values, not just ambition. Character is also how you treat others, especially when they can do nothing for you. It's how you speak about people when they're not in the room. It's how you show up for those who are struggling, how you admit when you're wrong, how you give credit instead of hoarding it. In a world that celebrates ego, humility stands out. Not the kind of false humility that hides in the shadows, but the kind that stands tall and still listens, still learns, still lifts others. You're not born with character. It's something you forge. Every test, every delay, every disappointment is an invitation to build it. When things don't go your way, how do you respond? When you're under pressure, what rises to the surface? That's when the real work begins. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about staying rooted in something deeper than public opinion. It's about being able to look yourself in the mirror and know that, even if you didn't get everything right, you stayed true to what matters most. Reputation is what people think of you. Character is what you know to be true about yourself. One can be lost in a moment, the other is built over time. One depends on perception, the other on principle. Focus on the latter, build it slowly, protect it fiercely, and let your life speak louder than your words. When your character is strong, you move through the world with a quiet confidence that doesn't need applause or approval. You know who you are, and that knowing becomes your power. Feed your mind every single day. Your mind is the command center of your life. Every decision, every action, every belief stems from the thoughts you allow to live there. If you want a stronger life, you need a stronger mind. If you want better results, you need better thoughts. Your future isn't shaped by luck, it's shaped by learning, by thinking, by stretching your mind beyond what it already knows. And the mind, like any tool, gets sharper the more you use it with purpose. Most people spend more time feeding their bodies than feeding their minds. They eat 3 meals a day but go weeks without reading a single page, without questioning their assumptions, without stretching beyond their mental comfort zone. And the cost is invisible, but powerful. When your mind isn't growing, it's shrinking. When it isn't being fed, it starts consuming whatever's easiest: gossip, noise, negativity, distraction. The mind craves input. If you don't give it something good, it'll settle for whatever's loud and available. What you read matters, what you listen to matters, who you talk to matters. Every day, you're either adding to your mental strength or draining it. You become what you repeatedly hear, see, and say. If you're constantly surrounded by complaining, your thinking will reflect it. If you're only exposed to surface level noise, your mind will lose its edge. But if you immerse yourself in books that challenge you, in conversations that stretch you, in ideas that make you uncomfortable in the best way, your thinking starts to expand. Reading is one of the most powerful daily disciplines. A few pages a day can reshape your thinking over time. Not just any reading, though. Read things that feed your future, not just your current mood. Read people who have been where you want to go. Read the timeless truths, not just the trending topics. And don't just read for information, read for transformation. Highlight, underline, pause, and reflect. A single idea, well absorbed, can redirect the entire course of your life. Learning doesn't stop when school ends. In fact, that's when the real education begins, the education you choose, the subjects that light you up, the skills that make you valuable, the knowledge that separates you from average. The world is moving fast. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. But if you make learning a habit, you'll always be in demand, because the person who's learning is the person who's evolving, and evolution beats repetition every time. But feeding your mind isn't just about adding new things, it's also about cleaning out what doesn't belong. Thoughts of fear, doubt, guilt, comparison, resentment. These mental weeds don't belong in a strong mind. If you let them grow unchecked, they choke your creativity, your joy, your clarity. That's why daily reflection is so powerful. Not just asking, what did I learn? But, what am I thinking too often that needs to change? You can't change what you're not aware of. But once you see it, you can redirect it. Silence can be just as important as study. A noisy mind is a cluttered mind, and sometimes the best way to feed it is to quiet it. Moments of stillness, deep breathing. Walking without your phone, these aren't luxuries. They're necessary space for ideas to rise, for clarity to return. The mind needs margin. It needs space to process, to organize, to create. If you never pause, your mind becomes a storage unit full of disconnected thoughts instead of a workshop where powerful things are built. Be intentional about who you allow to influence your thinking. Every conversation leaves a trace. Every opinion you absorb, every belief you adopt, it shapes your world. So choose mentors carefully. Choose friends wisely. Choose content deliberately. Your mental circle is as important as your physical one. Don't just surround yourself with people who agree with you. Find people who challenge you respectfully, who force you to articulate, defend, and refine your thoughts. Make feeding your mind a part of your daily routine. Not just when you feel inspired, not just when you have extra time, but as a core part of your life strategy, like brushing your teeth, like eating, because your thoughts determine your direction, and the more refined your thinking, the more focused your actions. Growth isn't accidental, wisdom isn't automatic. They are the result of daily effort, daily input, daily choice. And when you feed your mind daily, you don't just get smarter, you become wiser, more focused, more resilient, more prepared for the challenges that life throws at you.